Check, check. Oh, okay, that seems like it's working. Oh, that's right, I should probably fix this too. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Bon, and welcome to another episode of Bon Voyage. Right now, I actually don't have a camera. I wasn't able to grab one, or grab mine back from set. So, today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna keep my ugly mug off the screen. Well, I've missed you guys. It's been a little bit of time. I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and kind of checking in with the regular team, but today I actually get to play with you guys. Today's game is 80 Days. And if you don't know what 80 Days is, 80 Days is a really classic type of adventure-type film. People kind of relax and you get to explore the world. And by explore the world is we have 80 days to go around the planet. So, let's start off with the game, I guess. Oh, actually, this is on the wrong screen. Oh dear. Well, there's something already going wrong. This is what I get for not being here for such a long time. Oh, well, we're already going to difficulties. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, let's see what's going on. I'm gonna do a quick little check here. Yeah, but how you guys been? It's been a while. And no surprise at all, there's always something going awry if you're on your own. so I guess I'll just tell you a little about the game. So the 80 Days first started out as a mobile game, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty easy to play. It's very relaxing, and I've wanted to play this for such a long time. Alrighty, can we get it to capture? Oh, and the answer is yes. Oh, thank goodness. Alrighty. I seem to have lost sound. Well, let's see if you guys hear anything. Well, that's pretty weird. I don't like this at all. Alright, well, let's see if I actually start playing the game and it'll start working again. Alright, the year's 1872 and we are starting in London. I've entered the service of a new gentleman. It would seem he's a gambling man. Yeah, but this originally started as a mobile game that got really popular and was adapted to PC and Mac. It's a super easy, simple indie game, and I really like it. And yes, it is based off Jules Verne's novels. We start in London. Monsieur Philippe Frog returned home early from the Reform Club, and a new-fangled steam carriage besides. I helped him down, and the iron-lung, steam-driven horses clattered away. Fast per toes, he said he. We're going around the world. Around the world, monsieur, or very good? Very good, monsieur. I muttered dutifully, not believing a word of it. We shall circumnavigate the globe within 80 days. He was quite calm as he proposed this wild scheme. We leave for Paris in the 8:25. In an hour. But of course, sir, I answered, still extremely suspicious. He nodded. Good! Pack an altimeter and my evening jacket. There is not a moment to waste. Okay, cool, alright. I have funds and my character is now dependable. New route discovered. Right. Let me pack things. Okay, we're taking this, and we're taking your evening jacket. What else should I take today? There's just a moment to seize. Anything further that I thought might be useful for our long trip. European steam table? A wax cylinder. I don't know. Let's go with that because I don't know what else to do there. Let's go. Our completed English one's wardrobe should help us to navigate time's upper class journeys. Yay, upper class stuff. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Okay, so since I took the map, this lets me go look around all the places that I could go to right now. Okay. Should I look at the map again? I'm gonna look at the map again. Okay, we start in Paris, and I want to try and find a way to... Okay, we're going around the world, so there's a lot going on. I want to find a way... Okay, this is going to be interesting. This is actually my first time really playing this. I did a little test drive around with it on my private channel, and now doing this, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I want to get to Amsterdam. Or do I want to get to Stockholm? Okay, we can get to Zurich, Berlin. Do I want to take the top path or the lower path? Okay, I'm thinking about this too much. Let's just... It's all about planning. Alright, let's go back in. Let's go! By steel horse and buggy. This here is classy as fuck. The mechanical horses raced past Piccadilly Circus and Pall Mall faster than a team of thoroughbreds. Even so, the whistle of the 825 was blowing as we pulled up to the Charing Cross station. "We have no tickets!" I exclaimed. We raced along the concourse and threw ourselves on board. Look, I'm not a thinker. I'm a doer. We raced along the concourse and threw ourselves aboard as a second whistle shrieked its warning. We barely made it in time to take our seats before the guard rapped smartly on the compartment door. He held out his hand. "Ticket, please?" "Alas, monsieur, we were in a great hurry," I explained, giving him a beseeched look. We do not have time to buy tickets." You may purchase them from me," the guard was saying. "Though it is more expensive, I'm afraid. £85, please." I handed him over the £85 and smiled a thin smile from one worker man to another. The guard gave me our tickets and slid compartment door shut behind him with a pneumatic hiss. "Your funds have gone down somewhat." I mean, well, yes, if I spend money, that's how that works. It goes away. "I'm in fine form, but we must make haste." I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Passepartout? Journey. But tell me, Monsieur, what is the purpose of our journey? I've made a hefty wager, and I did not intend to lose. This journey will be our most expensive, Monsieur. Indeed, but we can earn a little from buying and selling our possessions as we travel. Very good, sir. Alright, that's alright. London's smog gave way to rolling hills and the pastures of Kentish countryside, still untouched by the hand of technological advancement. Monsieur Fogg read his paper, whilst I repacked our bags. We passed the day in silence. Is there a reason? I should probably look at our bags again. Whilst I repacked our bags thrown together in haste and confusion, as afternoon turned inexorably to evening, I discovered that my master was one of those gentlemen who broke their silence rarely, if at all. A guard rapped at our door. A few miles before Dover. "We're about to submerge, he warned. Takes some people a bit of funny, so watch out." Very good. Very good, yes, I replied. Still submerging inside a 1,000-ton metal train was quite ordinary for me. Well, if you feel claustrophobic, the guard replied, try running up and down the corridor. I always find that exercise helps. With the door closed, I might have shit myself just a little bit. I mean, I wondered if Monsieur would be claustrophobic. I mean, I doubted it. He appeared not to be constrained by mere matters of place and circumstance. An alarm sounded as the fins above the amphitrite's wheels extended with hydraulic hiss. Night fell and we plunged past in the dark of the track, into the freezing water of the English Channel. Your relationship with Fogg has strengthened slightly. Okay, we're getting closer. That's good. Being friends with your boss is good. The amphitrite plowed through the water overnight and splashed into a water-gauge French tracks at Calais as dawn broke. Do you have a route in mind, Monsieur? I began to consider what we might require for our journey. I'm thinking my boss didn't really think about it because I have no idea what's going on, so he probably doesn't either. What might we require for our journey? Loose clothing for hot weather and furs for the cold, driving clothes for the roads, and waterproof gear for the boats? Well, will we venture north or south? I inquired, deep in thought. East, he replied with utter uncertainty. Even so, there are several routes to consider. But which is fastest? I believe, he said, there is somewhat, this is what we shall put to the test. Pablo, I scarcely knew what to think. I'm not really sure what type of... Wait, should he be French? I'm not really sure. I'm not good with these voices things. I'm not really thinking about it too much. Well, we arrived at Paris, Gare du Nord, just after 1 o'clock. Automaton porters lifted our luggage, and then our persons onto a platform with long, delicately filigreed iron arms. Paris, city of my heart. I was home, but not to stay. Oh shit. I should probably prepare a French accent. I didn't really look at Paris too much. Some of our possessions would trade well here. I mean, sure? Yeah, let's go look around. Let's see how much this is all worth. Tucked away in the 7th arrondissement is my favorite market street. Oh wow, we don't get anything for that. It's $220. No, I don't need that. Well, a travel cloak is good for keeping out the chill and windshields to heavy rain. So this is all stuff that I'm going to need if we want to make sure we make it out all safe and whatnot. Available in Copenhagen, Warsaw, and Budapest. A set of geometric drawings, instruments precisely made, beautifully presented. Well, let's see what we want to... So we're in Paris, and we want to get to Amsterdam. So I want to look for stuff that's good for Amsterdam. Oh shit, I want to look at what's good for Amsterdam. Valeting set, gentleman traveler set, worth 2,300 in Berlin. Look, I'll buy the extra suitcase. Can I buy that? Is that a chance I could buy? Let's buy this. Yes. Alright, and since we're here, I'll buy. I'll buy. What is this worth? 4 for 100 days. Part of the gentleman travelers. A shaving kit. I feel like a traveling cloak will be useful. If we don't look our greatest, that's fine, but I prefer what we have now. Right. The bank opens at 10. The hotel is open tomorrow. Alright, let's go to the hotel then. We'll pass the night here. That's correct. We should, and it'd be the best idea. We took a hotel for the night. We'll be comfortable here, monsieur, Fogg remarked, but traveling overnight will often be more efficient. So we must board the longest journeys available, where possible. We're looking for... where we can, or the longest journeys past. Let's go for the longest. Perhaps, he replied, the short answer indicating I think that one-day journeys might often be more flexible in their timing, and could allow for more connection. Still, the surrounding of Hotel Ritz were most enjoyable. The clock is ticking, Passepartout. We must decide our next steps quickly. Well, let us prepare, and by explore. Drop by the bank soon. We had a few hours to spare. I asked Monsieur Fogg if I might enjoy the city before we left. Indeed, and should you learn anything of note, be sure to relay it. I nodded and headed into town. The talk on the streets was of one thing, an enormous, elegant oval stadium, constructed upon the green fields of Champs-de-Mars, and containing the technological marvels, amusement parks, and milling crowds of the World's Fair of 1872. My city still wore scars of last year's siege. I ventured inside, but I was certain Monsieur Fogg did not intend for me to visit the fairs. Oh, well, I feel this is my city. And as my city, I feel that the World's Fair is something quite interesting in our adventure. I ventured inside the grand illuminated pavilions of the exposition. an artificer was placing an arc light. Or I went westwards towards the airship hangar. Ooh, do we look at airships or do we look at arc lights? To be honest with you, as a man who really likes light, I'm going to go with the lighting. Which had burnt out. She had first disconnected the strange machine powering the lights, that spinning iron wheel which was wound around the with a series of amateur coils. What is this artifice? What is this device, artificer? I asked politely, my eyes straining to copper lily pin which proclaimed her profession. It's a bleeding nuisance, is what it is, the artificer grumbled, in a thick Yorkshire accent. See, this game would be perfect if I knew all the accents beforehand. These gram machines are finicky beasts. Gram machines? I inquired. Well, it's, oh, never mind. She waved away my question as a steam engine, alright? Only it doesn't make steam. Will that do? I hate explaining this to a layman. Retreated hastily, not at all in terror of her ivory tone. Merely aware that there were delights and wonders aplenty. Well, away from annoying Yorkshire-bred artificers, avenues sprawled in every direction between the inviting illuminated pavilions of the exposition. I headed towards the red and purple tents of the Artificers Guild. Took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations. I went west towards the airship hangar, but this was all too much for me. Well, I feel like since we're traveling the world, I think a good thing to do is probably talk to all the people we're going to have to meet who are all over the world. I took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations, lined with buildings in the styles of the nations of the world, and manned by foreign delegates in national dress. Although the newly formed German Empire was, conspicuous absentee. A most eclectic sight? Let's go with eclectic. The Austro-Hungarian delegations was being harangued by an artificer. The Zulu Federation had built a replica city, or village. Wow, I'm just jumping everywhere with this. Let's go with that one. The Austro-Hungarian delegation was harangued by an artificer who looked to me like a farm boy from Provence. The artificer was pointing at one of the soldiers guarding the doorway, and the shouting in terrible German, "Verboten! Verboten!" I peered at the soldier, or I said, "What's the matter here? What should I do?" Yes. Well, I feel as if we should, let's take ourselves, I'll watch what's going on here. Who was sporting a rather fine mustache and gleaming uniform, so spotless that it looked almost Polish. Merde! With a start, I realized that he was no man at all, but rather an automaton, with an enamel-painted uniform and pewter face. The artificer cursed. These Austro-Hungarians have brought their automata soldiers to Paris. Even the war machines are expressly forbidden by the guild. Who knows what danger they might represent? I turned away hurriedly. Crowds of tourists jostled, heaved past, their eyes wide with wonder. I headed towards the red and purple tents of the Artificers Guild. Or I went towards the airship, or decided to take my leave. Look, we're really getting close to that Artificers Guild, but I feel like we're just wasting time here, so I'm kind of done with that. I take my leave and return to Monsieur Fogg, who was eating a meal of plain-boiled beef à l'anglaise. Did you enjoy your expedition? My master inquired indefinitely, as I had been out visiting an aged great-aunt, having preferred a hearty meal and an English newspaper, and I nodded. Yeah, I like that was kind of cool. Nothing else possibly impresses me now. When speaker lucky to live in such an age of invention. Invention! I knew that word. I declared, "It will certainly make it easier to win my wager," Monsieur Fogg replied mildly. I dreamed that night of mechanical wonders and automatons with beautifully enameled faces, knowing little of the strange inventions and strange people I would soon encounter in my journey, and around the world. Well, we don't need money, so let us depart. Yes, let us go to Amsterdam. Let us Bach? Hire a second car. Go! Let us go. I wonder if I get more money. Oh, yes. We found a member of Coachmakers Guild to carry us to Amsterdam. She loaded the cases onto the back, stoked the boiler, and took off at high speed along the coastal road, swirling around the corner with each considerable skill, and I think a touch of showmanship. I clung on tight. This would be a terrific ride. Your character is now courageous. Hey! Yes, Adventure goes my name. You're quite the flamboyant type, I see. Yes. Greetings, driver. I cannot drive well if you are talking to me. Let's do that one. Is it timetabled? I think Cristiano worries about the lying between Russia. Ooh, well, oh shit. Let's... Oh dear. I don't know where I'm going. Copenhagen? Is it possible to travel from Cristiano to Copenhagen? I believe so. One can travel aboard the airship Northern Lights from Cristiano to Copenhagen. Great. Copenhagen to Berlin. Let's go to Berlin, yes. Is there a route to Copenhagen to Berlin? I believe so. Berlin can be reached from Copenhagen aboard the passenger airship. Great! That's awesome. I'm all for that. Thank you. Goodbye. Great. Wow, that's not at all where I wanted to go. Fuck. See, it's really hard to make sure you get to the right place. Once or twice, the metal-rimmed wheels lift the chassis clear from the road on one side, only to bump down after a chuff and puff more of the engine. Must have topped 40! 40 miles per hour! Perhaps 50 miles per hour! A fabulous way to travel. The Polish inventor Bozek, who had first attached a perfectly decent locomotive engine underneath a flimsy wooden crate, was clearly a genius. Can we just imagine that real quick? Like, can you imagine a train engine attached to just a big slab of wood, and that's what we decided to call a car? That's amazing and terrifying. Such cars are grown in popularity, my good friends, if I were not destined to be valet until the day I have gray hairs in my ears. I don't... Well, my good friends, if I were not destined to be a valet, the day I grew my gray hairs, I would become a car driver. Because driving is fun. And gad and rich and famous around the mountains of the south of France every day between the hours of 2 and 6. I mean, you know, working for 2 hours just driving sounds fantastic. I wonder how the Uber drivers do it. Do they have Uber there, actually, in France? Or... I mean... whatever millions of different car choices there are. Does such a rule exist? Perhaps I will invent it, if not. Toot toot! As we rattled along, I spoke to our driver. I watched the drivers as we rode, hoping to learn her secret should I get the opportunity to drive for myself. Amsterdam. Well then, some of our possessions would trade well here. Lost Rembrandt? Wow, lost Rembrandt worth 1,200 in Munich! Where are we? We're in... I don't know where we are right now. I was not paying attention. 230. Berlin, I'll sell that. Available here and in Copenhagen. I forgot where we are, guys. Let's sell it. Let's buy it. Are we... Do we need money? I don't know if we need money right now. We don't need money right now. Berlin, I'll sell that. I don't understand what the Englishman's wardrobe does. Does that do anything? Seville Row jacket. Just real quick for you, if you don't understand what Seville Row is one of the best places to ever get a suit. It is the place where all tailors go to if you are top of the class. A number 1. I guess, yes, the odd geometry set would be good to sell, and I will sell that. And I will buy this and sell this in Munich. I think we're good for now. Wow, that's a lot of trace routes. Interesting, interesting. The world is opening up to us, and I have no idea what the fuck this means. Alright, well... Hold up. I must go to Munich to sell this. Berlin to Munich. Munich to Vienna. Vienna to Warsaw. Or to Budapest. I don't know. Okay, well... let's plan. I like to Berlin. Let us negotiate. Let's go now. 8 AM, huh? That we can do. Alright, then we shall stay the night. The thoughts of people of Amsterdam move about its canal streets with a sense of optimism and good cheer. I felt no pressure, need to linger. One look at the building tells another story. Our mission left little time for exchange of pleasantries. I felt no pressure, need to linger. Once Amsterdam was a great center of trade and culture, but now it strikes me as a provincial sort of place. There was, of course, a short northerly canal. Access to North Sea and beyond towards Scandinavia. So many choices. All that reminds me was choice how to best depart. Let's depart. Great! That's awesome! So I only lose about 6 health. I guess the 6 health is really important. Let's go. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm driving now. Look at me! My fancy little automobile. Our next leg was another short trip in the car. I bounded in, eager to get started. We hired the same driver as before. You two! She exclaimed. Get in! Sir? Wait. Sir? Converse? Fog? Sir? I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. Fog. Do you feel better? That's good. That's good. I'm happy you are not feeling any pain. As we departed Amsterdam for Berlin, I begged Monsieur Fogg to allow me a turn at the wheel. He looked to our driver, who smiled happily, moving to the side. The wheel beneath my hands was like nothing I have experienced before. Almost like an electrical sensation, as though the thunderstorms rippled inside the wood itself. I drove by sheer instinct, quite without the thought to the mechanisms involved that presumably is how we came a cropper. I had assumed the car would start as normal. I confess I drove like a loon. Had I done differently, my Gaelic blood would have boiled. As it was never so lightly split. Far worse was the expression on my master's face. Hours later, the car was fixed and we were able to drive on. But the irrevocable had already occurred. We were now a day behind. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated. Only a little bit, sir. I promise you that we'll make it just fine. Map. We made good progress in the car, but not enough to recover our lost time. Toots, my friends, toot! So, our driver asked quite suddenly, after a full day and a half of silence, why are you going to Berlin anyway? We're going around the world. Whichever found. By car? By car, by train, whatever we find. She nodded. You should go to South Africa, she said. The Zulus near Ulundi wrong long-distance airships across the world. There was the extent of our discussion. She returned to the drive, and I was watching the world slip by. Sulundi. Sulundi. Sulundai? So, hope you feel better. I guess I also have to pay attention to him so that way he can regain his health in the corner here. The road swept beneath our feet, a dogged gardener. Finally, we came upon a sight of tiled roofs, a harbor, and the smell of herring. We had arrived in Berlin. Berlin, okay. I can be in Berlin. The Chateau de so that's about here. Alright, well, we're here. Let's sell some things. Chateau wine, let us go. A gear size of tooth. Alright, let's sell this and buy this. And this should do us well if we go to Khartoum. Oh, the Rembrandt. We must go to Munich. Alright, well. As we have part of this, I feel this is fine. We've made up more than enough for the money. We found the Wow! What is going on? Oh, my dear. We are coming very far south if we do that. What is the plan? I need to go to Munich, though. I must find a path to Munich. Is there a path to here? That's a straight right up there. Fuck. We are in Berlin. We can go to Copenhagen and north to Christiania. Christiania will give us north, but I see no route from there. This will be a lot of time. I don't know if we should go to Christiania. We'll pass the night here. We stayed the night in the hotel. Adlon and Enten den Len, and the main boulevard in the central Mitte district. From the window, the Brandenburg Gate was lit by upturned gas lamps. I went for a late-night stroll. Along the avenue, past groups of people drinking at low tables. I sat down beside a pair of ladies who were each trying to outdrink each other. Well, I'm sorry, sir, I'm a little bit adventurous. I joined their game. A foolhardy move for an accustomed to the petit cognac and not the grand pichet. Pichet? I don't know what that is. When I returned to Monsieur Fogg, I was in a somewhat less than steady state. Still, I discovered that the most efficient way to Budapest is through Prague. A useful tidbit, perhaps. Your character is now suave. Am I, though? Am I really? Every path we take should be... Okay, let's explore a little bit more. We have time to... We'll need to make another day. Berlin, they tell me, was once filled with the glorious sounds of people speaking French. Not so anymore. There's nothing but the crashes of gears. Every street corner is equipped with rotaries and wheeled systems that spin glass globes in the way and that. Their purpose is quite unclear, but... I noticed people walking quickly past them. When I investigated by clambering up the pole. As was horror, I found it was a solid crystal sphere with no openings and nothing inside. The mysterious persisted until nightfall. When the globes all lit up, the people of Berlin clustered around the warmth of the globes to drink beer and converse. It seems they work hard here, but they celebrate the equal of vigor. We join the merriment. Well, not a good idea. I've lost some health there. We join the merriment, earning ourselves offer of a lift of the way to the Bucharest from a stocky blonde man who spoke only in dour monosyllables. I sipped at a mug of beer with a thick head and recalled in horror, these fiends put wheat in their beer. Well, yes. The afternoon turned to evening, and we finished our explorations of Berlin. Ah, yes! Our days of travel actually did help us. No, let us depart. Let us go to Munich. Plus 467. Negotiate. Yes, let us go. Embark on our way. We crossed from Berlin to Munich in a patched-up steam carriage. The smoke pumped out of the black through a tall iron chimney, leaving a soot-smudged wake which trailed behind us like a flag. While driver Christoph could not stop talking about his father. I have no idea what Kulak is, but I know more about fathers. We have a engine driver, and had just been promoted. The Kaiser emerged. Well, I don't know what voice to give him. The Kaiser emerged all the... No, that's too American. Kaiser? Well, who cares? The Kaiser emerged all state railways into the Reich Railway, he told us proudly. We have the most efficient system in all of Europe. What of the Orange Express? I ignore him and looked out the window. I glanced at Monsieur Fogg. Boss, how you doing? Who brightened appreciatively at Christoph's words. He was not usually one to appreciate the achievements of foreigners, but no doubt efficient railways were an exception to his rule. How are you doing, sir? I want to keep you in your 90s, if not 100. One man passed, calling out, "You are English?" Indeed we are. Pip pip, he called back in a crude imitation of Monsieur Fogg's accent. And he and his fellows fell about laughing as we left them from afar. I laughed too, and saw Monsieur Fogg's eyeballs climb a short distance up his face. Slightly. Come now, sir. We're not children. We're grown men. I think so too. Just sell this, buy this. Ah, yes, we shall most likely sell this. I shall buy it for we have space for it. All right. Belgrade, Victoria, Athens, Izmir, Istanbul. So this is all parts of the world I've never been to, so... I forgot I bought something that's actually for the lower part of the world. Do we go north or do we go south? On Munich to Vienna, Vienna to Budapest, Budapest to Belgrade, Belgrade to Thessaloniki. Then we have all of this to figure out. This is a lot. Alright, well then, let's go back in. Do we go to Bucharest? No. Belgrade to Thessaloniki, which is not a place I know at all. Yes. I should probably check. Yes, this should be fine. Let us sleep through the night. The Franco-Prussian War had concluded but a year previously, thus my French accent was a disadvantage. Disadvantage during our short time in Munich. The concierge of our hotel was most suspicious when I approached the desk. I guess I haven't been playing like I care about politics. It was the enmity of my nations to me. Still, in order to avoid any untowardness. Still, to avoid the awkwardness, I tried a Viennese accent for the duration of the day. Back of my throat. I'm now courageous. I am a bard through and through, and nothing could really change that for me. It obviously is who I am. Munich, the sky. There was little day in Munich. The sky was shrouded in steam and oil fumes from tractors and hydraulic excavators in the streets. A place of industry. Then, whose citizens worked dark cloaks to protect their finery from the soot. I brushed a few specks of dirt from my collar. Absent-mindedly, far more intrigued by the gleaming machines remarked the city skyline. Rumor had it that this work was more than doing of the Bavarian king, who had become obsessed with steam power, but the spectacle was more interesting to me than the patronage. The man, what's going on? I'm very interested in people. And spent an exorbitant sum on imported machinery and engineering works. The Kingdom of Bavaria had recently joined the German Empire. It appeared that the king suddenly had much more time in his aristocratic hands. Well, what matter the whims of aristocrats? Power and free time are the most potent and dangerous combination. As our journey, I fear, proves. Yes, let us depart. Ooh, how do I turn this back around? I want to go depart. Go to Vienna, thank you. Negotiate. No charge. Before 5 p.m. Let us go! Embark now. For inexplicable reasons, there was no way to board the Orient Express at Munich. Something strange to do with customs laws, or though I understand it was actually retribution for unpaid fees. I had little interest in such matters. It was not difficult to find. We ended up cramming ourselves into a steam-powered car instead, shuffling along. Your character is now suave. When am I not suave? Really? Can you think about that? When am I not? Greetings, driver! Yes, hello. Yes. Vienna to Warsaw. Yes. I think I already know about Vienna to Warsaw. Is timetabled? On the subject of trains, I've heard that Bucharest is linked to Odessa aboard the freight train. Warsaw, Prague, Budapest. Budapest. Budapest, please. Oh gosh. Okay, let's hope that's Budapest. Can you absolutely know when to travel to Budapest? From Warsaw to Budapest. Budapest to. Do I already know Athens? Is that something I already know? Oh, fuck. So Odessa. Odessa from Bucharest. Oh, shit. Das war jetzt Ravelle. Well, we're getting closer. We're getting on the path. It's pleasant enough to ride, and our driver, one Mikhail Hertz, regaled us with stories of his time on the Indian subcontinent. Ooh! It seemed he had been employed to haul palanquins along the Grand Trunk Road connecting Kubal and Agra before Agra wandered away, he finished cryptically. His whole tale seemed outlandish. I had to manage to know what he meant, but he merely grinned mysteriously and said, "Ah, the tales I could tell." As we arrived, the driver pulled out his hand to shake. "I'll be driving to Bucharest soon, if you want." Oh, wow. What? What? What is that? Don't even know what that is. More tiring than I expected. Well, let us plan then. Sir, I believe that Bucharest would be the best for us. Moscow. Do we need to go to Moscow? This is our path we take right now. We're 8 days through, and we're about a quarter way through our journey. We're not even out of Europe. This is terrifying. Fine. You go to Bucharest tomorrow. Let's rest for the night. We found a room in the newly opened hotel. Imperial in a suite built for Duke Philip Württemberg's maidservant. Württemberg's? Maidservant. Ooh, there's people playing. Once your fog was seen too, I took myself downstairs, settled down with a cognac, and enjoyed the gentle music. After an hour or so, a group of men in fine dress came in and began to make an uncomfortable noise at the bar. I listened on their banter. I could hardly help it. I learned a most interesting thing. It seemed these men were local councillors, who had been supervising a large movement of troops toward the train station, destined for Belgrade, and then Istanbul. It departed a few days earlier, and now was all but ready for war. My heart sank. These gentlemen were celebrating death and destruction. And toasting to the upcoming raising of the Ottoman Empire. I returned to Fog, doubtedly determined to escape this beautiful, cruel city as soon as we could. Let us go. We hired our friend Mikhail on the journey onwards to Vienna to Budapest. The road followed the rail tracks for much of the way, but we saw no trains as we chuffed along. So, we arrived the evening without incident. A staunch caller. Very well indeed. Some of our possessions would trade well here. Sell it. What do we want? I do like not pocket altimeter, a compass focus. I can sell this European timetable. This can go inside here. I have a feeling we'll be in Moscow. Part of the frequent flyer set. woman's scarf? Or... Oh, don't feel it'll be... I think that'll be fine. Let us go. You need your health, sir. A dusty jacket Englishman at our hotel recommended a restaurant called Clemens to Monsieur Fogg. The Magyars make an excellent broth, he promised. Ominous words indeed. I'd never really been one for... broth? Broth. A broth is, in my humble opinion, merely an incomplete consommé, and at best an inferior bouillon. Monsieur Fogg was set on the matter, however. I could not argue. I decided instead to sulk genteelly in the manner of a well-trained chambermaid. We sat to dinner in Clemens, and where our soup arrived at a gleaming silver tureen. My master, a man of impossibly high standards, even remarked upon the tureen's flawless polish, at which point it exploded, splattering my face. Monsieur Fogg, an extremely bewildered waiter, and admittedly delicious salmon broth. Great. A fellow diner had been struck by the edge of the tureen lid, and was bleeding from the temple. I rushed to his aid. I tried to salvage my shirt. I should attend my master, who looked remarkably unperturbed by the entire affair. Perhaps England's exploding entrees were commonplace. The head chef had by this time emerged from the kitchen. He pointed towards the wall and began a violent rant which needed little explanation. The broth had splattered on the ivory walls in the intricately curved shape of a lily, unmistakably symbol of the Artificers Guild. I beckoned over a waiter, who attempted to do an apology in a mix of halting English and German. "Never mind that," I cried. "The lily," I exclaimed. "Indeed," he said miserably. "The guild has gone too far this time." I looked around at the chaos caused by a single bowl of exploding soup. "But the guild is a collection of repairmen and designers," I said. "They do not go about blowing up perfectly salted bowls of soup." Our waiter sighed. "They were banned by the Emperor, so we could make our own imperial automata outside of their control. The guild is growing more vocal in its objections, my apologies. Personally, I thought the Austrian Emperor was a fool. The guild was growing heavy-handed. Such matters were smacked of European profligacy. I don't know that word. I don't know. Profligacy? Okay, that'll good. The Austro-Hungarian Emperor was a fool. The guild was more powerful than any empire, so more widespread. It was a matter of time before the guild thought Austro-Hungary to negotiate table, or else its knees. We stayed for the main course, but did not enjoy it. The incident had made me rather shaken. Let us explore. Belgrade to Helsinki to Athens. We investigated various options for how we might continue our journey. Let's plan. No, I feel that Bucharest would be the best. I have no idea what's happening. Why are we visiting the bank? Okay, well, let's go back to our location. You visit the bank. Monsieur Fogg declared. You have additional funds? I am a gentleman. They would extend my credit if required, replied. But do you suppose I put my entire fortune into a carpet bag under your supervision? I did not answer. I regarded the manager of the bank we entered, a small, sweaty woman who greeted us with a warm glee. You wish to withdraw funds? We were told, I warn you, it may take some time. Ah, that will not do. I told the manners that we swept to the bank. Oh, thankfully, our situation is not desperate, my master declared. Onwards! I am not taking this path, sir. We're in Bucharest, right? This is not the direction I want to go, sir. Is this all we have? This direction that we go to? That sounds ridiculous. This is the path we better take. Shit. Oh, shit. Now we have to join the Orient Express. I have no interest in this. Arrives tomorrow. Well, fine. Get some rest. Your health has gone down again. With what remained of the day, I will master every service. I want to help you get better, sir. Fighting with a haircut, with the intention he would have a comfortable night. I am fine in form, but we must make haste. Let's depart. Let's get the fuck out of here then, sir. Today we turn south. The Orient Express Company ran a spur line from Budapest that swept down to the length of Europe to Athens. It originally stopped midway to Belgrade, but since that city is almost total destruction... Wow, I didn't know that. But we had no reason to stop in Metal Europe anyway. So the lack of a station was little consequence. Relations with fog is slightly improved. Your character is now courageous. Again? Let's converse. Greetings, Madame God. Show me your ticket, please, first. Yes, monsieur. How can I help? Athens, madam. Athens to... Alexandria. That sounds amazing. You're out of luck there, but now I suppose you think your standards are worse than expected? No, not at all. Not at all. Very good to hear. Athens. Athens to... Ujiji. Look here, the most efficient way to Ujiji from here is through Sals. Then, let's hear another Meteor Valley. That sounds cool. I believe so. Childhood sweetheart had quite an adventure in carriage from Athens to Meteor Valley. Sounds wonderful. Let's talk about Ujiji. Ujiji to... Khartoum, and Singa, Stone Town. I don't know where any of these places are. This is all means nothing to me because I've never been to half the part of this world, or this part of the world. Some buyers will pay well for evening jackets in Khartoum. Ooh, evening jackets. I do have some. Good. Khartoum. Singa. Despite knowing to expect, I could not help but gasp as we swept through the empty husk of Belgrade. It seems home only to ghosts. Trees and bushes grew from the tall buildings. It's like a preserved museum exhibit. To all appearances, one might believe that there had never been people here at all. Quiet. What had happened? No one truly knew. The roads, houses, viaducts were all standing. Gas lamps still burned, but not a single voice cried out. And not a single door or shutter moved. I asked for his thoughts. I fear that our age is seeing a great experimentation in warfare, much as in every other walk of life. I fear so too. Indeed, he replied, but at least the train's moving faster. We answered Timu as oblique as Belgrade itself, but as the Orient Express left it behind, it carried us towards a long evening of gentle wines and candlelight. which went some way towards lighting the soul. Fuck. You're fine. So, let's talk to... Oh, yes! It's Journey. Day 11, I believe. Journey continues. Great. Money. Our funds. We're well funded indeed. You have made some excellent decisions. That's good. That's good. We are making good time then? Athens to Izmir, Atlanta. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's here. I think we should stay put. I cannot imagine a more delightful spot. We were well catered for, of course, and arrived feeling most refreshed. Relations with Fogg have improved. Your character is now slick. What is with this guy? It's not my fault I'm like that at all. Market. I think it's Englishman? Englishman? Dusty Road? Urban Traveler. Hot Eel. I don't know what we should do. Okay, I'll buy that for now, because regardless it'll be nice. And since we're already here, I'll buy the rest of this. I'm not really sure what this does. I just have a shit ton of money, and it's interesting. I need somewhere to go. What's our next path? My master was not, as a rule, particularly interested in the fabulous locales and exotic cities we journeyed through. Athens was an exception that proved the rule. His sudden interest was not limited to the city. He fixed me with a look. Do you speak Greek? Spent a glorious summer with Greek contortionists. Well, I did. Who would the most elegant arabesque pinch? Fancy? Mas oui, monsieur sharply. Repeating a few phrases taught me by my paramour, Monsieur for blushed vermilion. That basso is a very specialized vocabulary. Despite my master's grasp of the Greek, ancient Greek of the demonic variant, more calmly spoken in the streets eluded him. We were reduced to asking directions through a view of my fucked up language. We were asking for directions through a combination of mime, moi, opposite quotations for Homer, my master, and half-remembered flattery, moi encore. We picked our way through labyrinth streets of Plaka and up to Acropolis. I gazed at the Pantheon. It was a magnificent sight. Even in the ruins, I could only imagine how it must have looked 2,000 years ago, the jewel in the crown of the Athenian Empire. It is exquisite, I breathe, interrupting Monsieur Fogg's silent reverie, without quiet meaning to. Alas, our quiet companionable moment did not return. As we stood to mind the architecture, I was really knocked into by a small man with thick glasses. I caught him in his... He smiled and thanked me quickly. My apologies, he murmured. Talk about the sight, perhaps? Cheerfully, and the man smiled. I have seen it many times before, though. Yes, it is most impressive. He put out his hand to shake. Dimitris Sophos. I am a man of modest shipping freight company. We based here. And to where do you sail? Then perhaps you can help us. We are going around the world. Then perhaps you can help us. We're going around the world. Checked and detailed the routes and timing of his company. The one of most interest was a boat sailing to Cairo, which leaves the next day. I thanked him and promised to see him in the morning. He beamed and wobbled away. A man with sea legs, I observed. Monsieur Fogg still gazed longingly at the Parthenon. Did not reply. I doubted he noted a word of the entire exchange. Relations with Fogg deteriorated. I'm at 100. I am at 100. Y'all want to fight with 100? Oh dear. Wow. Okay, I have time to if I can do a quick check. Well, let's go. Sophos Compano Ferry. We found our way to Sophos Ferry Terminal in good time, and waved a greeting to the owner, who was visiting to inspect his fleet. Passepartout, he cried cheerfully, "You will join me with a drink, some Retsina?" Monsieur Fogg lifted an eyebrow, but said nothing. That would be most enjoyable. I told him, never one to refuse a toast. My master shook his head just the tiniest fraction, before spying a local cafe, placing himself down outside it. Would normally not abandon my master, but there seems to be there was something in Soulful's manner. That hinted a bit more than desire for society. And my instincts were quite correct. He leaned forward. Listen, Passepartout, I could use a man like you. Discreet, loyal. I laughed politely, thinking this man's spectacles were perhaps not thick enough. It's no laughing matter, he hissed seriously. One of the men who works for me in Antalya is named Fontaine. He's meant to manage the important exports of black olives, but I do not think that is all he is importing. What can I do to help? I asked, intrigued. I need an outsider, a stranger. Antalya. Okay, we might go to Antalya then. Connected to me, but with a keen eye and honest streak. I then met you, young Passepartout. Tell me, will you help me? I'll do what I can, I told him, while thinking, oh, Passepartout, will you ever learn to say no? Then we have a deal. We have a deal. I pulled a long leather wallet from his pocket and laid it on the table. Tell me, Passepartout, are you a sort of man to motivate money? If necessary, I replied, thinking about the long journey still to come. 1,000 now, the Greek said, pushing the wallet towards me. 2 more if you report me in Cairo with what you find. I took it. Unsure quite what I was doing, he slapped me on the shoulder and sent me back to Monsieur Fogg. We clambered aboard Sophos Ferry, finding some space between barrels of olives, large pickled crates, and that smell of fish. Soon the rope slipped from its ring, and we were away. Your funds have gone up by more than 1,000 pounds. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. Your character is now stylish. Oh. Oh, shit. I'm very interested in Antalya. Antalya is one beautiful place. Must be a place on earth. To Cairo. Oh, yes, it's up to boats. Anyone can travel from Pyongyang to Lodgeschlag. Cairo to Alexandria, Cairo to Sayes, Luxor, Heights. I have no idea where any of these places fall. Let's go to Rai. Luxor? I believe so, no, can travel aboard now. Express Cairo to Luxor. Use apples. Don't mind if I do. Cairo to Jeddah. Suez. Yes, one can drive by private car to Cairo, Suez, but the journey is not a long one. Luxor to Answan. Pyongyang to... Wow, that's a long one. Vladivostok. You'll be fine, sir. Oh dear, driving quite fast. Sophos was true to his word. Somewhere in the midst of the Aegean, we returned about to a few hours later. We were arrived in the coast of Turkey. Monsieur Fogg seemed perturbed by this turn of events, but did not utter words as we disembarked. I am in roaring health, but must make haste to talk with you more, but I do not get that option. Market. Oh yes, is that a shirt? Leather braces. Eastern spices. I feel that's fine. There's so much I want to sell. We're going the opposite direction of Moscow. And... anyway, the absinthe is interesting and I shall keep it for now. Gator Crash. Wow, where is what? I don't know any of these routes. This is amazing. I don't understand any of this. I'll just go in the hotel for the day. We pass the night. You're in the 80s, so I would like to work on our relationship at some point, so. Overview? Settings? Let's go with overview real quick. 16 days accounting, visited 18 cities, traveled 2,000... Favorite? Transport? Cars. I like cars. Is my character stylish, really, though? I spent the afternoon rambling around Kalesi, this historical center of Antalya, which was where I happened upon a group of Turkish dockhands unloading crates of Venetian goods into a warehouse flying to benchmark. They had passable grass of French air. They had a passable grasp of French. No doubt a prerequisite of working for their French employer on Monsieur Fontaine. Though we've never met him, one of them added bitterly. I had found Monsieur Sophos curious Monsieur Fontaine after a fashion at least. This is not the case. Is he a good employer? I asked politely, trying to discover what I could, but my manner raised immediate suspicion. Why do you ask? I don't get fibers. Perhaps you are Monsieur Fontaine. This is interesting. My name is Passepartout, I protested. A likely story, they retorted. This is not even a real name. An accusation, despite my protest to the contrary. And despite my protest to the contrary, the idea of the master masquerading as a tourist was not really dislodged. After resigning myself to the role, I gave a booming laugh, the sort of Monsieur Fontaine of my imaginings would boom. Alas, being his bluff exterior, he had only recently suffered a heartbreak. Edith, his wife of 20 years, had perished in mysterious fire in our villa upon the Black Sea. Thus I was ensconced in my role. I spent a cheerful, deceptive afternoon getting to know my employees and inspecting the merchandise. I cracked open a crate to reveal a treasure trove of Venetian glass, glittering blue, green, and Antalya sun. Is that all? I demanded in surprise. Time for a gambit. Where's the rest of it? The rest? The special shipments, I replied with an insulating look. This is all, monsieur. The boxes are labeled as olives, of course, and we all know that's not what they are, but it's glass. Only glass. I took a piece for myself, turning it over my palm. Indeed, it was merely glass. A curious development. Would this news be worth 2,000 pounds to Monsieur Sophos? Would it be worth directing our journey towards Cairo to find out? The Venetian glass would fetch a good price in the ride. should we decide to sell it? And Riyadh. And Riyadh. Riyadh? And Riyadh. Should we decide to sell it? A few hours spent in exploration, leading a way in which you might travel onwards. Yes, well, we have a lot of shit. So yes, let's just buy it. I want to buy all of it. What is planned? Where's our current place? In Antiola? To Cairo. I just think we should negotiate. Tomorrow. We have quite a bit of things that we should sell. It's alright. Well, with this, it'll be fine. I need to fix my relationship with my boss. Ah, yes, fresh clothing. It's good. That's fine. More than enough. Yay! We actually gain a health on our trip. The Nefertiti was a tall, masted Egyptian clipper that sailed around the coastline from Antalya all the way to Alexandria. I asked the skipper if he had considered longer voyages, or I was content to enjoy the ride. You know, I feel like this is an adventurous guy. I'm just talking to everybody. I think it's a need to. And I don't know why I've picked up an accent of some sort. That's not really anything. I just like to read this way for some weird reason. Via the Suez Canal, but he only laughed. The fees, young man, are quite extortionate. How extortionate? I asked. He gave me a pointed look. You will not buy me or my boat, he replied. If that is your intention, my liberty is worth more coin than you have. I nodded. Did not pursue the conversation further. I was just curious. I was just curious. The evening drew on until the crew served gin slings with great cheer. The captain nodded to me as the liquor poured. Enjoy, he called, for as long as you are with us. As long as you are with us. I saluted him with my glass. I have no idea what my boss said. Cool drink and sun went down in a fire and smoking across the sea. Have you been to Egypt before? The captain said. It is truly an amazing place. A birthplace of innovation of thought itself. A truly ancient and mysterious place, I agreed. That it is, Captain looked wistful. The gin was going to his head. Do you know the artificers have rebuilt the library? The artificers must be a very wealthy guild, I observed. Indeed they are, he replied. What a good building a new library does them, I do not know, since everything an ancient one was lost. But it gives me hope that my country can be great once more. We landed in the harbor at Beirut, just after dark. Do we leave the ship? I say we shall. Let us rest. We found not only a hotel, only a boarding house of rooms, essentially countryside, and which fountain danced, and various people sat and talked in hushed tones. As I looked about, I found something special in every pair of eyes I met. So, naturally I was curious. I introduced myself to a likely-looking pair. They had just arrived from Baghdad and were full of the glories of the city. Tell me more, I demanded, and so the woman, one Madame Izir, enthused about the generous hospitality and warm welcome expected from all Baghdadis. shall look forward to it, I declared cheerfully. Mademoiselle and her male companion took their leave from the fountain side, insisting on recommending a spot in town where we might find a driver to Baghdad before going. I was left sitting beside the fountain, listening to the whispers, waiting water until I retired. Ah, there is Baghdad. I wait for this market. 4 minutes. I want to sell stuff. I don't know. I'm scared of going under 10 grand. Ooh. I have a complete set of urban traveler's gear. I should not have any more. Thank you very much. Long Suk, the largest market, is a windy alley with 100 tiny stalls. As planned. It leaves tomorrow to Cairo. Let's explore. Steamers thronged Beirut's modern harbor, and airships hung in the air above, tethered with long cables to rows of purpose-built iron lungs which ran perpendicular to the docks. The city sprawled out. From the confines of its ancient walls, yet it was bounded by the shadow of Mont Lebanon to the north. An Albanian sailor offered me a game of dice. Oh shit, those loaded dice would have been really nice. Let's play some dice, boys. I was only too happy to accept, despite a troubled relationship with Lady Luck of late. I bet rather heavy. 200 pounds. And rolled a hard 4 to start, telling me I had only just been released from the Lazaretto, which was a sort of maritime quarantine. He told me about his cargo, opium of the highest quality. Though here's the joke, it's technically British opium, purchased straight from Turkish farmers, then resold for a profit in Arabian Peninsula. It's coal to Newcastle, I exclaimed, which required a subsequent unfortunately lengthy explanation of British industry. The Albanian nodded along, but I fear he was not a particularly attentive student. My mistress could sell a recipe for komlek to an Albanian grandmother, and profit castles to New Coal as well, the sailor said. She uses the profit. We'll fund her expeditions into the desert. What a daring woman. As he made his third roll, the sailor told me that her expedition camp was in Ha'il, some distance to the southwest, and always in need of an extra pair of hands. An interesting thought. I rolled. Snake eyes, a handful of my money with such grace as I could muster. The Albanian patted me on the shoulder, and I decided to return to my master before I found any more trouble in Beirut. I've lost $200. He doesn't know. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. We go to Cairo. I made a promise, and I will keep that promise. For that is what men do. And a man is no good if he does not keep his own promises. I shall go to Cairo, though I need to go to ride. I'm just buying stuff because it looks cool. Probably a bad idea. Alright, before retiring, I bought my master's pocket watch. Spent a few hours walking around. Yeah, look, he's He'll be fine. I spent a few hours walking around before I found a charming Slavic soldier who had lost a purse, which I helped find, and from whom I discovered that you could obtain candles scented of rose in Ribe, extreme value in Muscat. I asked him how he knew, but he only winked and moved away. Depart. I'm sorry, my friend. I must go. We sailed once more, aboard the Nefertiti at its first light, back onto the glittered waters of the Mediterranean Sea. Converse! Greetings, sailor! Hold this rope, would you? What is it you want? Sus? Sus to how? Okay, is it possible to get Sus to how? Let's just say that merchants in Riyadh will pay fantastic amounts for demojons of olive oil from Ha'al. I really don't know anything about this. Okay, Rub al-Khali. Just say fastest way to Rub al-Khali from here is to Ha'al. Toronto to Ottawa to Quebec City. Okay. I went above and was surprised at the atmosphere on the deck. The sailors were stretched out on the deck, enjoying a moment of calm. In an hour or so later, they were swarmed, the rigging and the masts, bringing us slowly into the bustling port of Alexandria. As we came ashore, I gasped at the sight of the towering lighthouse that blazed a beacon of incredible golden light across the water. I had never seen such a structure. Clearly, something was afoot in this town. The sailors suggested for us to follow. From port, it was a short carriage ride to Cairo. And we arrived in good time. Some oil. Some the altimeter. There's so much stuff. I don't know what to do with it. Okay, this goes here. This goes here. Bust will go here. Let's go there. Baku? Not going. Darjeeling or tea? Jeddah, Bombay, and Dubai. Stubborn, sour, and prim types. I don't know what any of this means. Look, that's a nice little gold ring there. Finely woven silk. A bolt of this should be most valuable. So, if we go to Baku, great. Whatever, this seems like people are angry. When you deal with angry people, I'm all for it. Hotel for a day. I'm in Cairo. It's attempting to modernize the following of the Parisian model. The result is mishmash of tree-lined streets and maze-like souks. Zooks, yeah. Of course, the people did not care, and most certainly do not dress like Parisians. I went looking for Sophos the Greek. In the end, he found me, creeping up as I sat dejected by the waterfront, feeling had I wasted another day on this fool's errand. Why, young Passepartout, he greeted me with a heavy pat on the back. You made it! Indeed, but with little news. Grimly as he sat down beside me, you must tell me all. I showed him the lump of Venetian glass. This is what I found in Fontaine's shipments, I said. He took the glass in me carefully, turning it over between his hands. Fontaine is using my company as a cover to smuggle glass into Ottoman Empire. Of course, if it should be discovered as my name on the papers, my surname stamped on the boxes, He plucked his spectacles from his face and began to chew the frames voraciously. A trade matter, then. I wish you well. But what is so important about the glass? I asked, curious. Sophos lifted the glass and held it up to the sunshine, turning it in that way. Look into it, if you like. I peered forward, not understanding, but as light fell into the glass, I saw it broke and shifted around in patterns of color that formed veins within structures, shapes that moved as it turned. Have you seen the automata of Skola? I shrugged. You should... Beautiful machines, he stared. Deep into the glass he spoke. The patterned glass is how they think. Fontaine is selling the Skola's work to the Ottomans, and behind the guild's back. I wanted to think about this. He shook himself clear to his thoughts. Passepartout, you are a braver man than you know. More trustworthy. I promised you a reward. He pulled something from his pocket, pressed it to my hand. Not quite what I promised, but equally good. Travel well. I thanked him. He tipped his hat on his way, opening the leather box once he was gone. I found to my surprise it was a small metal flower, hundreds of tiny petals geared to a curved stem. It was a lily. I investigated more closely, and found the catch to make it spring open. The flower fluttered and bloomed in my hand. Delightful trinket. The evening was dawning in. So, I strolled around. I was browsing quite happily until I felt a hand dip into my pocket. Turned around fast, but the little girl whose little hand was in my pocket was clearly well praised, and slightly slid between my knees to run away. I was 30 pounds poor. Alright, that's fine. In Muscat. I sure won't go. Not today. Perfect. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we ride our first airship. I am all for that, my friend. Well then, is there anything else in this market I want? There's no useless. Let's sleep. Let's sleep. We took a room and settled in. I made Sitton to repack everything. I helped the kitchen staff clean. And 41 pounds in tips and fees. I went up a little. Alright, well that little girl robbed me, but that's fine. I took care of the problem. Yes! Let us go! Airship! Airship! Look for a freaking awesome little airship. We departed Cairo on the Ottoman Gayak airship. The envelope was painted all over with the interlocked geometric patterns which continued to the corridors inside. The lights flickered a little. Can we just talk about how cool this is? We're on a fucking giant airship. I really do like this game. I've always wanted to play this, and I enjoy it so far. How you guys feeling about it? I mean, yeah, I guess. It's like a hit or miss game. It's a smaller title. It's definitely for the phone, so not a lot of people expect out of it, but I definitely do enjoy it a lot. We departed Cairo on the Ottoman Gayak airship. The envelope was painted all over with the interlocked geometric patterns which continued the corridor inside. The lights flickered a little. I could feel the rumble of the engine. Below my feet, louder than I perhaps used to. The Gayaks were coal gas rather than steam powered. A useful feature, since so much of the Ottoman land was desert. Let's talk. It's always a good time to talk. Greetings, Captain! My good Passepartout. How? Manama. Magnet compasses. Sus. Vodka? Manama. Du. Goodbye. Goodbye. Rubakala? I have no idea what's going on. I should probably listen a lot more to the routes I should take. I looked onto the control room, more spacious than European standard, but simply arrayed with altimeters, gas valve controls, inclometers, and gyroscopes. I waved to the captain, who cast me a weary-looking eye and signaled for our crewman to attend me. Can I help you? The crewman asked in impassable French. This is a remarkable ship, I enthused. His expression lightened. She has twin propellers and Al-Sofa coal gas motor, one of the first ever designed. I don't really know what his accent is. Al-Sofa. She is the first airships built for war. Now she is a transport. The Geiks are the safest ships in the Ottoman air fleet. Gosh. I want airships to be real, guys. I really do. And I want them to be affordable. Like, only the price of a mansion. How fast should you go? Very, dependable. How fast should you go? Asked Riley, rather doubtful. Cruising speeds a steady 120 kilometers per hour. And he gave me a wink. We are capable of over 150 in emergencies. Quite an astonished speed for a lumbering beast. Luxuriously appointed ship. A low buzz began to surround, and the captain began to bark orders as we descended. The crewman excused himself and had paced the observation deck until we docked at our destination, the desert settlement of Ha'il in Al-Rashid Emirate. Yes, let us sell. Sell. Oh, 7 grand here. Eastern spices. Wow. Wait till Muscat till we get there. No idea what I'll do. Do we need galoshes? Routes for trains through the Ottoman Empire. Yes, let's check that out. Good quality olive oil is praised the world over for its medicinal properties. Yes. I think this will do. Days. Or 4 days. Yeah, I'll afford it. Departs in 2 days. So, Rad to Manama is what we need. A hotel? No, we planned. I already spent a shit ton of money. Ha'il was the capital of Al-Rashid Emirate, crowned by the newly constructed Barzan Palace, a grand structure over 3 stories, with lush gardens flourishing amidst the sand and dust. Its charm surprised me, though it gave, or should not have. I suppose we should why should a palace not be beautiful? Bazan Palace, unusually for edifice of its sort, did not dominate the town, but sprawled gently into the bustling souk. Traders from all lands and sects intermingled easily under the protection of the progressive emir, Delal ban Rashid. I found the sailor's mistress to the horse traders. I was surprised to find that she was dressed in white, floral robes of Bedown man, complete with kufa wrapped a little bit like a bonnet. She looked critically at a cremello of about 16 hands. Would such a lady really be an opium trader? I don't know what the cremello is. I glanced at the long neck and bay further back. Okay. She gave me a disgusted look. He's crossbred. This is hardly the coat of color of purebred Arabian, she sneered. It is too tall. Besides, a clear giveaway. She had not the particular nasal tone of... Oh, well, one day I'll like to learn voices. I was not surprised when she introduced herself as the Lady Enne Blunt, as she called herself in these parts, Anissa bint London. I am Passepartout, I declared. I'm going around the world. She nodded, curious but not curious enough. I'm heading to Riyadh by camel, train, in pursuit of superior horseflesh. I must recommend you come with us, as you are clearly in need of help in your purchases. I promised to consider it. When he turned away, let's go. Extra camel. Oh, man. Let's go. Steal of this shit. We're gonna go down to 50%, sir. Are you ready for that? Lady Blunt peered at us from the top of her chestnut Arabian, barely sparsing a glance at me, but greeting, Monsieur Fogg, with an aristocratic glance that bellied her unorthodox appearance. Just wait, really. Ooh. Astro-hungry accuse of words, fair saber rattling. 8 lightly loaded camels were roped together in a train. We'll be traveling fast and hard from Royal. Lady Blunt announced, the 2 camels at the back are yours. Gentlemen, do not slow us down. But Bligh did not trust my sartorial judgment. As it was, he remained in his Seville row suit, woolen socks, leather shoes, and cravat. I wondered with some trepidation how he would fare this desert. Boy, no! Why? Why are you gonna do that? Why you always lying? Why you always lying? I have no chance of seeing a lion, so I just realized I was kind of useless. Greetings, madam! Greetings, Passepartout. Kratu Manama. I believe so. Now we can travel by private car from Radia to Manama. Now, anyway, how are you enjoying your ride? Saddle sore? Indeed. Indeed, madam. I'm quite right. Aha! One of the pleasures of it. You'll get accustomed, I promise. So, Manama. It's full of bell drivers, oyster pickers, and textile traders. Bandar Abbas? I'll have to ask my secretary, but some buyers will pay me well to put it close to Bandar Abbas. Colombo? That's not a name I've heard before. No idea. In Zetropes in Colombo. Extremely valuable in Singapore. My boss is going to kill me. Or hate me. The desert seemed quite endless. Like I'm asking you again, sir. There you go. There you go. By mid-afternoon, however, he had accepted the length of the thin cotton to cover his head and protected his mouth from the constant sand-flecked wind. The less said about the trivials of this day, the better, though I, at least, was sensibly attired for the endeavor. I'm in roaring health. We must make haste. Alright, Fogg. Oh, shit. Lady Blunt trotted up to us during the rest break, looking at us with the same ease, superiority with which Casita, her chestnut mare, regarded the other camels on the train. Let Monsieur Fogg deal with her. After all, he was closer in social rank and background. The last Lady Blunt seemed uninterested in Monsieur Fogg's polite small talk. Perhaps the desert air had burned away her social niceties. One of the other camel riders gave an almighty shout and threw his skin onto the sand. A glistening black scorpion crawled on top of it. Without a moment's hesitation, Lady Blunt leapt from her horse, kicked the scorpion away from the canteen, and crushed it beneath her leather boot. She's a remarkable woman, I observed to Monsieur Fogg, who merely raised one eyebrow. In cool agreement, Lady Blunt remounted her mare. She shook. Okay, Evangeline will move on. I shook the sand from my scarf and girded myself to continue our journey. Relations with Fogg deteriorated slightly. Hey, come on. Come on. Fogg. Jerk. The rider in front of me was clearly more experienced. Far more experienced. For he managed to twist himself around a wave, then scalding wind died down. Your Anissa Bint, London's cousin. He shouted in passable English. She told you, I asked, where they've contracted whatever. The story Lady Blunt had concocted to explain our appearance. Though my relief he shook his head. It is just your friend has the same look about him, you know? Very... actually, appropriate word. You know. Hofty? I offered him. He clearly did not understand the words, so I forced to play an impromptu game of charades at Camelback. We nearly fell off our camels several times and laughed at a significant quantity of sand into our lungs in process. Though we never quite found Khalid's word, it did not feel like a wasted day. Well, now, the journey is proving more draining than I expected. So if I can take care of the boss, dude. Just take care of the boss. We have our trip. The road between Hal and Raid was not paved, but was well marked and provisioned with caravansari, and permanent settlements that clearly relied on the pilgrimage. I remarked on how busy it was. To Khaled. He raised his eyebrow in the sky. Once, he told me. We could not split a data stone for the number of pilgrims on this road, but the Ottomans changed everything in their path. You resent Sublime Port? Surely they respect the pilgrims. You resent Sublime Port? Right, but Kala laughed. Some Arabs do, but I am not one of them. Change is not a bad thing. He told me they are building a railway along Damascus to Mecca. Pilgrims are now traveling by steam trains rather than camel. So these settlements are dying. So why do they die? It is the way of things. The old gives way to the new. Don't you fear Ottoman control? I wondered aloud. There is a railway. They can bring soldiers and men to Arabia much more quickly. He considered my point, but I disagreed. Better Ottoman than the British. My people have a chance to take our place in the modern world, my friend. Khalid seized my shoulder. We must stand up, or be trampled. This is the way of things. I cannot deny that I looked forward to easing myself from Camelback with a sure knowledge that I would not be called upon to mount again the next morning. The hairs are thick and surprisingly sharp, capable of poking through even the most sturdy of woolen trousers. It is all I will record about this subject. I tried to pull myself in order, and I gave into a sip of water, for which he was rather grateful, though he would not have known it with a practiced eye. As we reached the outskirts of town Riyadh, Lady Blunt unroped her mare, dropped back to bid us goodbye. My grandfather would have left you in a desert and not looked back, she informed me without inflection. You're lucky I'm not him. Well, quite so. Given that her grandfather was the notorious Lord Byron. Mad, bad and dangerous to know. As London wits would have it. Good luck on your future travels, she said primly. That we shall meet again. Khalid rather more practically gave me the name of his uncle Riyadh. Khalid rather more practically gave me the name of his uncle in Riyadh. And so armed, we entered the small town of pale, sand-smooth building on foot. Boss, we don't hate each other as much. That's good. That's good. Market. getting a false passport. I am selling this absinthe. I am buying this sailor's cap. And I don't know what to sell. I could sell this. Okay, look. I don't know. This mechanical lily will go there. The loaded dice will go with the false passport. The ginger taps will go here. A Draught's board encounters of interest at 2 wistful, suspicious foreign sea dog types. Valuable in Manama, Muscat, and Suze. Okay, I should probably... So this is where it gets really boring. So this will go here. I don't know where to put everything. I don't want to buy another one. Dice, false passport. Oh, it's fine. That's fine. This is acceptable. Heavy Storm, Englishman set. Mechanical Lily, Sailor and Seafarers, Dusty Road, Frequent Flyer. This is a lot. So 4. Before noon tomorrow. That's fine. Let us rest then. You sure as hell need it, boss. We visited Khalid's uncle Abdul, a stout fellow in yellow robes, whose greeting us warmly and pinched both of our cheeks, both good-natured ebullience. Monsieur Fogg's face was a picture of purest horror, which I will treasure until my last breath. Alas, my master indeed needed reminding that the Arabs have different notions of politeness from Englishmen. One of the numerous children darting about the place was brought in a large silver plate of sweets. Oh, yes, a mechanical lily. Oh my goodness. Hello, Jared. I'm so sorry. I've been like bouncing around right now. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, man. It's really weird. I no idea how this game works at all. I've been playing for a little while. Let's say about an hour or so. And it's pretty weird. This is one of the games I've never played before. Have you ever tried this game before, Jared? Oh dear. One of the numerous children darted about the place with a large silver plate of sweet and darksome meats, which my master graciously accepted. I mean, I can't control him, but alright. Abdul spat a date stone into a spittoon across the room with uncanny accuracy and told us the nearby sheikdom of Baran and the town of Manama. Oh. I love this game. Played through about 8 times. There's so many different paths. And what's more, each playthrough is listed at different seed. Oh, it's tied to a different seed. So certain events may or may not happen even on the same path. That is super cool. I did not know that. This is one of the games I've had forever in my library. I think I got it in a Humble Bundle, and I was like, I need to play this game. Because I love world travel, and I love the fact that I know nothing about the world. So This is like a little mini here, like history lesson along with a fun little game. What should I do? So should I check out the Sheikdom of Bahran and the town of Manama, or the coastal city of Muscat and the Ottoman? What do you think I should do? A lot of kids around here, though. Oh, that's right. The map. Can I check the map? Yes. We should check. We should check Muscat because you have a path from Manama to Muscat. So let's go with that. Muscat to Oman. It is. I always press the buttons because I keep forgetting to use the mouse wheel. I'm terrible at this because I also usually use a portable wireless trackpad along with keyboard, and like it takes me a second to remember I have an actual little wheel I can scroll through. The coastal city of Moscow and Ottoman, though he sucked in his teeth a long time, hard before speaking. You British call that place the Pirate Coast, but a good place to hire a fast ship through sea or with air, few questions asked. We asked about Behran to Manama as well. Where is Behran? Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. Like, it was very weird when I did a little search on this game and I found out that it was originally just a mobile game, which is really cool because the port for this is surprisingly easy for the awkward controls that they have kind of instilled into this game. We asked about Behran and Manama as well, and he nodded. You'll be comfortable there. It is a British protectorate, and it will easily catch a steamer to India from the port. We thanked him and took our leave with much further economy, eager to enjoy the delights of a night under a roof after encampments in the desert. Relationships with fog have deteriorated slightly. I've never had it on PC, only played on Android, so it felt more intuitive. Yeah, I can definitely get that it is easier to mess around with, because like looking at this, I'm like, I feel like a not right man. Because it takes a second to fix, but it feels a lot prettier on a bigger screen. Plus, I can be a little bit lazier with it since it's kind of just, it's just really pretty to watch because it's just very natural looking. So I like that the imagery is just simple along with the video, so it's pretty nice. I would say definitely check it out if you have a chance to, because it's not that bad. It's pretty cheap. I think I got this for maybe like 50 cents or $1. It was awesome. Oh no, I don't want to sell anything. Oh, I don't want to sell anything. Gosh. Oh, wait, I could sell stuff. Most interesting stories are not the most direct paths. I guess that's true. I will not embark just yet. I need to go to the market real quick. I'm selling a lot of stuff because I just don't need it. No. Let's do this before 12. Have a seafarers. Oh, you know what? I'll just take that out. I was going to sell this in Muscat, but I'm not really sure if I can make it there. There's too many stuff I have. Oh, you're right. I should explore. I feel disappointed I sold that now, but it's fine. 2 out of 3 is alright. Let's explore this place a little bit. Aha! You're a lifesaver. I struck a few conversations here and there, hunting for options and how we might proceed. Let's plan. So... oh, gosh. It arrives tomorrow. Alright, well, that will be the one then. I feel terrible. I took that, so, like, the path that I took him was like minus 50 health, so he was at the 40s when we arrived, and that terrified me. So now doing this, I don't know how I feel about losing even more health to him. I don't bother with buttons clicking on and off the screen and mouse wheel or how I move around. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's kind of weird. Like, so usually this wouldn't be a problem because it's nice for dual screening. Oh, you can fast forward time? That's amazing. But I like the fact that I can also just play the same thing on my computer and just like move to a TV show, or since I'm streaming right now, like just moving to Twitch and just playing around with it. So it's like it feels more natural to me. I'm not really used to playing stuff on my phone. My phone is usually... I try to stay away from games on my phone because I'm always worried something is going to come up and I'm just going to destroy my phone, like whatever I'm playing. So I'm like, do I take the call or do I not? Okay, I'm just going to have to risk it because I'm not a bright man. I need him to regain health. The last night of evening... I really want to make him feel better, cause he feels really shitty. I like the fact that I take care of him, and like I'm clipping his mustache, I'm giving him a haircut. This is a very weird world. This is such an old school game. I cannot imagine living in this universe. I understand. Most of the games I play are companion apps for board games. 80 Days was a wonderful exception. I totally get it. Mostly, like, the only time I will use my phone, and I am guaranteed to probably destroy my battery if I don't have a charger with me, is when I'm playing D&D with my friends. Just because right now I'm prepping for a new campaign, and the character that I'm playing and trying to figure out a story for is all based around... Could have had more from the English wardrobe, but I fucked it up. I fucked it all up. 5e, yeah. It's 5th edition. We are doing kind of a different type of campaign. The DM that I'm playing with is basing it around the Yawning's Portal. And it's super, super cool to be ready, like, to play inside that world. I'll be playing as a card-casting bard, so that'll be super, super cool. Yeah. Do you play D&D? Are you in 5th edition? We had use of the magistrate's coachman and his barouche-top phaeton, drawn by an enamel and black and iron horse fueled by gas canisters in her barrel. A very European contraption. Out here on the edge of the desert! We set off soon as our luggage was strapped down. I for one hope dearly that the spring suspension was up to the challenge. I'm gonna take care of the dude, because he's just gonna die. We set off the movement easily enough to ride. I asked the coachman about his vehicle. He spat expansively into the sand in reply. I copied his act. He gave me a comradely grin. She's a city vehicle, reported from Isfahan, he warned. She's never done a desert crossing. This is the worst thing I've heard. I'm not ready for a desert crossing, but I'm going to take my car anyways and bring these people with me. I played the middle of 2nd edition to the very end of 3.5. Then I discovered Warhammer 40k RPGs, and I never looked back. Ugh, Warhammer. Ugh. I am so scared to play Warhammer just because it is a super, super intensive game of how much money can you spend to get all these figurines, depending on what you choose. But yeah, I've heard really great things about Warhammer 40k. And I never played 2nd edition. That is super cool. I feel like I should go back to 2nd edition and check it out. And I played 3.5 for about 2 years with another group of my friends, and I loved it so much. Yeah, the miniatures are terrifying. I have a friend right now who has a collection of... Oh dear. That was slightly painful. I have a friend who has a collection of Warhammer figurines, pretty much that take up a, like, 10-foot by 20-foot grid in my friend's house. The RPGs are a whole different thing. I gotta check out the RPGs, because I've never really played with them. I've only played with the concept of the tabletop games, so I'll definitely have to figure that out. What are they like? What are the classes like? And like how long the update's been? Because I've never really heard of the RPGs for 40k, but I definitely want to get into the steampunky type ridiculousness of it. It's like one of the reasons why I like this game, because this game kind of sets you off on an adventure that is dystopian and a lot of like steampunk type stuff. Oh, cool. 6 books and a 7th one coming out this year. I'll totally gotta check that out. How many people are in your group? See here. We set off enough to enjoy. As the coachman about his vehicle, he spat extensively. He said in reply, I copied his act. He gave me a camaraderie grin. This vehicle is imported from Isfahan. It's never done a crossing for the desert. It's scary. Sir, take care of yourself. Oh my gosh. 6 lines, 6 dozen books per line. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out then, because that sounds super, super fucking interesting. I already... So RPGs are a really fun thing for me, and I've gotten into the Fate series and to the... Or not the Fate series, but the Fate games. I really like Weave, which is kind of a newer one that is out for, like, you play it with your phone, which is, again, one of the only exceptions I'd use for is RPGs on my phone. But Weave is a really interesting one, but I can't imagine 6 books per line and 6 lines so far. I definitely gotta check that out. That is super dope. The mechanical horse had ridden through the night, only intermittent supervision by the coachman. An eminently practical solution, given that there was very little risk of collision in the featureless desert. But the vista before us was far from featureless. We had reached the coast, riding alongside the azure water of the Persian Gulf. The salted air was bracing, the breeze from the ocean rustling the leaves of the trees and brushes that sprouted just beyond the line of the beach. The Phaeton wheezed and puffed, and the coachman looked very nervous. Ooh, salt air doesn't agree with her, he said mournfully, but she didn't give out, at least not that night. The Dark Hearsay 1st and 2nd editions, which are very different from one another, Rogue Trader, Death's Watch, Black Crusade, Only War, and the newest one will be called Wrath and Glory. Each one was intended for a different scale level. So when you say scale level, what does that mean? Because I'm totally interested in that, because this is all waged in warfare from, like, the tens to hundreds to thousands, from what I understand from Warhammer. This morning I awoke. Made sure to oil the joint. Feeling oddly rested? No, I'd rather oil the horse's joints. The coachman did not see that necessary, but I felt it was better to err on the side of caution. I kept my rakishly oiled shirt on and even loose cravat, somewhat to complete the look. Monsieur Fogg would not like it, but fashion has no master. My friends and I look très chic, let me assure you. We made it to the capital of the sprawling Omni Empire before nightfall, after the otherwise uneventful journey. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. So, do the relationship matters really matter? I mean, I get that. Is it his heart matters they mean? Because that makes me worried. Somewhat. Maybe a lot, somewhat. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna... I'm selling these. That's a lot. Oh, I'm selling that one. No, I don't know what I want here. I want that pearl from Mardos. Ah, yes, I can sell the lily. Oh, okay, so the relationships can trigger a dialogue option depending on where it is. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that. The law set. So this shall go inside here as a complete set, since I can use that. Currently, the cushion is of no use for me. There's no men I'm trying to avoid. Not traveler painful. But this will be working for now. Actually, hand mirror is Banglador and Agra. Luxurious and posh types. I should probably use that beforehand, but it's fine. Let's pass the night here. As night fell, I attended to Monsieur Fogg. I spent a few hours polishing shoes in the lobby. I spent a few hours walking around and found the charm of Greek artist who was searching for a dog, which I located rummaging through a waste heap near the foot stall. The artist thanked me, and as we talked remarked that you obtained tobacco in Bombay and extremely valuable in Hong Kong. I guess I'll give money for that. He nodded, then moved away. Your funds have gone down a bit. Relationships with Fogg have slightly improved. As the night went, we discovered a new route. Karachi! I spent a few hours wandering Mutran Souk, known by the rather ominous title Souk of Darkness, because the stalls and lanes are so thickly crowded that sunlight does not penetrate it. As a result, it was lamplit labyrinth. I felt the Seuss in the Minotaur's I felt like the Seuss in the Minotaur's labyrinth. I don't know why I didn't read that as a whole sentence in my brain. I do feel like the Seuss. Only I had no Aradang to guide me away amongst the various twists and turns. I was, however, in search of a very particular quarry. Pirates! This was the dreaded pirate coast after all. I don't know if I'm the type who would, yes, I would ask. I would discreetly ask. Expensive, rather scout merchandise arranged in tumbled piles. Pirates are the enemies of the Sheik, the stallholder intoned imperiously, though he was unable to stop himself from adding a bitter remark, and certainly no excuse for the British to bring their ships and soldiers to our shores. I'm hardly British, though I'm pretty sure it's the accent I'm kind of using, because I have no idea why I keep doing this in my head. Monsieur, surely I have not fallen so far that you have mistaken me for an Englishman. I am French. Sahol rolled his eyes. That is hardly better. That is hardly better. I can't remember this accent. Now, friends, I cannot deny that this callous indifference wounded me deeply. I maintained stoic air, even managing to offer the man a smile to show that I did not take his terrible words to heart. Please, sir, stop smiling. He wrung his hands together, sounding unaccountably quite alarmed. If you tell me about pirates, will you go away? He pleaded, and assured him I would. The stallholder gave me the name of the pirate who supplied the stall with contraband artifacts, an Omni who had converted to Hinduism, and made his fortune raiding vessels traversing the Arabian Sea. Captain Balam of the airship Gandiva, even now docked in Port Qaboos. Well, this is interesting. Alright. Overview here? Don't worry about the wall of text. It is awesome to hear more about some different RPGs. Gosh, I've not gotten really that far. I'm 32 days in already, and I'm not even close to hitting the halfway mark. Halfway through my journey? Far too late. What do we have here? As for scale, forget the tabletop. There are individuals. Dark Heresy is Mook-level horror investigations. You are the very expendable acolytes of an Inquisitor, rogue traitor, as you are multi-billionaire space playboys, bored and out playing pirates. Deathwatch is Space Marines, which is like playing a party where every character is a paladin of a different religion or philosophy. Black Crusade is playing as chaos-corrupted traitors, and Only War is squad-based infantry regiment design. That's pretty cool. I definitely gotta check that out. Decent progress. Alright, yeah, decent progress will work. I totally accept that. As long as I'm making progress, I'm happy. But I think at this point, I'm going to stop here. I have business to take care of today, hopefully, if it's not too late. Jared, thank you so much for keeping me company, buddy. And thank you so much, guys, for joining me on today's Bon Voyage. Let me see if I have the other screen prepared. Ooh. Well, alright. Well, this week, it's going to be an interesting week. Yay! Awesome. Thanks, Jared. Thanks for becoming a scoundrel. After this, I think we'll take on another... I think we'll probably finish it the next time. So, if you want to tune in Monday, I'll be starting around 3, and we can chill back again then. It was good talking to you, and I hope you have an awesome day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Color Circuit, and have a great day. Bye.